Hey guys, it's Amber. Yes, before you ask, I did dye my hair, if it's not already plainly obvious. You can thank my grandmother, because she's the one who did it for me. I think she did a fantastic job. And honestly, I'm starting to really dig it. It's only been a couple days, but I think it looks pretty cool. And perfect for the holiday season. But enough about me. Let's talk about today's project. So now that Thanksgiving is over, my husband and I put out our Christmas decorations because we aren't heathens who put them out before Thanksgiving. We are civilized beings. Christmas comes after. You decorate after. At least we do. And in this process of decorating, we realized all of our lights to our Christmas trees are dead. One of those lights happened to have these companion cubes. It was a light set that my husband owned and has had for many years. And unfortunately they died, and we're too lazy to try and put new lights in there, and it's too much of a hassle. Why are we gonna do that? We're not. So I got the brilliant idea. There was like 7 of these in total that we were able to get off of the light structure before throwing it away. And since my husband really liked it, I am keeping one of these normal. The others I decorate for this video. Technically, I'm keeping 3. I decided to keep 3 normal. Saving 2 for who knows what in the future. I only decorate 4 this week for the video because that's all the types of wrapping paper we had, and I wasn't going to go buy some wrapping paper I didn't need. But keeping this, it's also go on the tree as its perfect little self, because I'm turning all these little boxes into fake Christmas boxes or faux Christmas boxes, whichever word you prefer. I like the word faux. I think it's a fun word. And honestly, I finished them last night after grueling pain of hot glue and whatnot. Ugh, it was horrible. My fingers burned so much. But it's over, it's done, and I'm ready to show you what I did.
So, after being a little weirdo and just messing around in general, I grabbed some gift wrap paper and set about figuring out the size of my box and how much I would need. When doing this, I took a pen so I could see where I need to mark. Not all my paper had this grid, but most of it did, and a lot of gift wrapping paper will have a grid. So I basically made sure there was enough wrapping paper on both sides that were the equivalent of 3 blocks on the grid, because the box was equivalent of 3. And then for what was going to wrap above, I doubled it, if that makes sense. I then proceeded to cut my paper with the help of a little editing magic. Placing my box slightly above the center of my paper, I first folded the top down so that it rested on the top of the box. Holding that piece with a finger, I then pulled from the bottom of the paper up as tight as I could, but not too tight as to rip the paper. I then took a small piece of Scotch tape and sealed both pieces together. I then turned the box around so that an open end of it was facing me. Taking both of my thumbs, moving down from the top, I gently pressed the paper up against the side of the box. This gave me 2 walls. I then folded one wall down to the floor and then the other on top, creating a triangle shape. I then folded the triangle up and over the box, again taking a small piece of tape sealing it. I then did the same thing to the opposite side of the box, taking care that all of the tape was on one side of the box so that I could create a smooth surface on the opposite side. Side note, this technique can be used on any type of box. If you're wrapping presents, it's perfect for it. So, one more thing. I did try to use a different technique here, and I did end up filming it, but I ended up scratching this whole thing because I really didn't like it. The whole process was very sticky and icky. With this one, I had tried to actually cut out enough wrapping paper for the sides and that I was just going to glue it because I wanted to see if that would actually work. It didn't work. In fact, it ended up being gross and icky and sticky like I just said, and I scrapped the entire idea and I just went on and continued to wrap everything as I did the first box. And I re-wrapped this box because, honestly, what else was I going to do with it? Because I wasn't about to keep that gross mess. I just thought I'd show you a little and let you guys know because, I mean, I tried, but I didn't like it. I mean, I'm sure it could work, but not for me. As I said before, I went and covered the rest of my boxes with my wrapping paper, again using some editing magic to help make things go a little faster. By the way, this is my favorite wrapping paper because ponies. I tried my best just to show the whole wrapping paper because it's so cute. After wrapping all my boxes, I went and pulled down my crafting box. There's a lot of boxes in this, I realize. My crafting box has a bunch of sewing stuff in it, primarily. I went in there because I needed to grab ribbons, which I have a lot. Then I didn't realize how many I actually had. But I loved it. I also ended up finding some little trees and bells in there. I might use those trees or something in the future. Don't know what. But I did actually use those bells for the rest of this. Of course, I didn't use all of the ribbon, but I pulled it out just so I could see what I had to work with. Starting with my princess box, I chose a shiny white, silvery, iridescent ribbon. I don't know. It's just very shiny and pretty, and I thought it was perfect for the princess box. And it is. It's very perfect. But I totally struggled hardcore to even get the ribbon on here. This is where I'm just like trying to put it on there. It was a pain. I eventually gave up on trying to actually just tie it on there. And I eventually started to cut the ribbon and hot glue it, which I think worked out pretty good. It just means I can never undo what I've done. I hot glued both the top and the bottom of the box, that way the ribbon was secure in place. I did burn myself, mind you, so if you're using hot glue, please be careful or have an adult with you if you're a child. It was not fun. It burned really bad, especially on the very thin ribbons. I then once again struggled to make a ribbon for the top of my box. I could tell you how to do this because I did eventually learn, but honestly, I think there's another video that would help you much better, and I will put a link to that down below because it is the video that I used and they explained it very well. And I don't think I could top it because, man, did I struggle hardcore every time I tried making a ribbon. So check that video out instead. But after struggling to make my bow, I finally made it. And then I proceeded to hot glue it onto the top of my box, trying my best so that it would stand up in a way so that when looked at from the front, it would look almost picturesque, like, seeing a beautiful present, so sort of thing. I don't know. I liked it. It worked out. And then I proceeded to do the rest of my boxes the same way, choosing ribbons perfect for each of them. I chose a black ribbon for the flamingo box because I thought it was just perfect. No other reason. By this time, I had actually known what to do, and things went much faster. Except for bows. The bows kept taking their time. One thing I did notice, and I will have to take care of it sometime in the future, is that because I cut the ribbons, they started to fray a lot at the ends. This is very common with fabrics. If you cut it in certain ways, it will start to fray. I just cut the little strands away, but one thing I should have done, and I will do, like I said, in the future, is actually take some clear nail polish and sort of just paint the ends so that they stay together. It's just one way that helps. But I thought I should mention that for all of you at home in case you decide to do something similar to this. For my spotted wrapped box, I decided to go with the rubber ducky wrapping paper because, like, I'm sure I said in my last video or something, I don't know. I'm sure I've mentioned it somewhere. I like ducks too. And I thought it'd be a fun sort of playful thing to do with this wrapping paper because I couldn't think of any other wrapping ribbon to put with it. This is just so cute and playful. It's like a little child's present. And lastly, on my favorite box of all, because My Little Pony, which again, I love My Little Pony, I decided to go with the gold ribbon, partially because I had only a few scraps of this left, and I kind of wanted to use it all up. And I just felt the gold would go well with the wrapping paper. Just sort of like a magic or kind of feel to it. And while I do like it, I wouldn't say it's my all-time favorite, but I can't think of any other ribbons that I had that would have gone as well with it. So I think it still works, even if it's not my all-time favorite ribbon with it. I like it still, and I don't think I'd actually change it. So remember earlier in the video when I mentioned those little bells? Well, this is where those perfect 4 bells came into place. I hot glued them, one to each of the presents, and it was a lot of work, and honestly, I messed it up on the first 2 because it doesn't jingle. But in the other 2 do work. So if you're going to do this, hot glue it upside down so that the bell doesn't get stuck when you're gluing it onto the base of your project.
Oh man, guys, I am so happy with these. They're so cute. Like, seriously adorable. I can't get over how great these things are. Totally worth the pain. And they didn't take very long at all. I mean, I bet you could do this with anything. Any type of box that's square. Or box, their boxes are all square. What am I talking about? I bet you could do this with any kind of box-shaped item or just anything. And you could make some really cool fake presents for your tree. I mean, this was so fun. I'm speechless. I'm in awe. I just sort of got in the groove and that was it. And I think they all turned out really good. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing much else to say. But, man, these things are so cool. I love them. And if you love them too, why not give this video a like and subscribe to my channel? I'm going to be making a ton of different holiday-themed art and crafts throughout the rest of the month of December up until, I want to say up until Christmas, but it might actually be the weekend after because I've got a secret surprise coming around that I can't share right now because they're for friends, but they're amazing. But I want to show my progress on it, and it's going to be amazing. I've been working for 2 months on them, and they're so good. Well, they're okay, but I think it'll be really cool. Either way, so, stick around for the rest of the month. There's going to be a lot of presents every Saturday morning. And I'm getting weird again because that's who I am. Anyway, remember, you guys can find me on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Ko-fi, where I do have commissions open. Links in the description. And as always, I will have last week's video up here, and a video that YouTube thinks is perfect for you. And one last thing before I sign off, please wear your mask. We're trying to spread holiday cheer this month, not COVID. As always, I hope you guys have a fun and safe weekend. I'll catch you guys all next time. Bye-bye! Oh no.
Just, it'll stay.
I'm trying to find spots. Bear with me.
Oh yeah, this is all on tape.
It's okay. I can always like edit footage. There.
That's perfect, actually.
See? That looks so much cuter.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
And they actually fit on there.